Hey guys, it's Valerie here. So in this video, I'm going to be doing a foundation routine. This video is going to be very detailed. So typically when I record my videos, I literally just zoom through the face process. So if you guys want to see how I get my face to look like this again, then definitely keep on watching. Okay, so starting, my face is already washed and it has lotion on it. I'm gonna do this in steps so it's easy for you guys to follow, because I know my aunt is like, girl, you gotta do them in steps because I can't follow it. So the first step is primer. Primer is just used so that it makes your foundation stick to your face better. It blurs out any imperfections, and also it just makes your foundation stay longer if you're having a long day. So the primer that I'm going to be using today is the Fenty Beauty Primer by Rihanna. It is the only primer that I use because it doesn't break out my skin. Just taking this, I just do one pump here, because I have my face is round, so I need pumps. On my chin, on my forehead, just a little bit. Like that. Next step is to rub the primer in. So I'm literally just rubbing it in. Make sure you bring the primer down to your neck because you do put foundation on your neck. So wherever you're putting foundation or product, you want to make sure that you put the primer on your neck and get in between the cracks of the nose and under your eye. The next step is foundation. Now foundation is important. First of all, you want the foundation to match you. So if you don't know what your foundation shade is, I suggest going to Sephora and they can help you match your foundation. There are two types of foundation. There is matte. So matte is typically for people who have oily skin. So if you do have oily skin, I recommend a matte foundation. There's a dewy foundation, and that's usually for people who have dry skin. So if you have dry skin, I recommend a dewy foundation. So my everyday foundation I use is the new Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Foundation in the color 360 Mocha. I love this foundation because it is full coverage. It's a new foundation and it matches me very well. And also, it's $11. If you're on a budget, bitch, you better pick this shit up. So with my foundation, it comes with a pump, so it's really easy. All I do is add one pump here, and one pump here, and a little bit on the forehead, not too much, on the nose and on my chin. So the next step is to get a beauty blender or a beauty sponge. I'm using the Real Techniques beauty sponge, and you want to make sure that your sponge is damp. So you literally turn the faucet on, run the sponge under the water and squeeze it like this, and then at the end you want to make sure you wring out all of the water, and then your sponge should be damp and ready to use. You want to make sure you use a clean sponge, no dirty sponges, alright? A clean sponge for a clean and nice flawless application. I use a sponge because it just distributes the product all over my face, and I like the sponge better than a brush sometimes, because if you find that you add way too much product on your face, the sponge just absorbs it up and distributes everything out evenly without it looking cakey. So I'm just gonna go ahead and blend out my foundation, just taking the sponge and I'm tapping it on my face like this. It's really easy to blend out. Just tapping it. And make sure you bring the foundation down to your neck, because we want this to be nice and flawless. If you're going out and you're doing an updo, I do recommend putting some foundation on your ears so everything just looks nice, blended, and seamless, and unified. Yeah. And get that foundation in between the cracks of the nose. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more. Between the cracks of the nose. And make sure you bring it down to your neck again. Get it on your eyelid. We're going for a nice natural look today, nothing crazy. And then blend out the forehead. And you want to make sure you get up in that hairline, because you don't want your hairline and your forehead to be a different color. No, honey, we're not doing that. So just blend everything out. See how easy that was? You're literally tapping. Don't drag and blend. Don't do that. That's gonna cause streaks and it's not gonna be cute, and it's just gonna be very muddy on your face. So the next step is concealer. you take the concealer and you put it underneath your eyes to remove any dark circles, any bags, or any irritation if you have redness to the eyes or anything. And also it helps to brighten underneath the eyes, especially in the morning. God, I look like a raccoon. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take my concealer. This is the Fenty Beauty by Rihanna and the color Suede. I love Fenty. So I'm just gonna put that underneath my eyes to brighten, because I don't have any dark circles, although I'm tired as hell, but surprisingly I don't have any dark circles. Still young. Alright, and just taking that same beauty sponge, I'm gonna go ahead and blend the concealer underneath my eyes. So when blending out your concealer, don't drag anything. Just tap it down, look up and tap down. Make sure it's nice and blended and it looks very natural on the skin. And you can also build up, like if you want a full coverage concealer, like if you have really dark bags or like, you know, stuff, you can add more product, but I don't have any of that, so I'm not adding more product. I'm just going for a nice natural today. So just blending out underneath the eyes. And I'm literally just tapping like before. And I'm using a different part of the sponge, a clean part. So just tapping underneath the eyes until it's all blended, like this. And then blending out my nose until I put on my nose. And I'm just tapping that also. And then I'm just gonna blend this part out on my chin. Whatever leftover product that I have from my sponge, I just go in my smile lines and put some there. And then I put some on my forehead, whatever product I have left on my sponge. The next step is to use a setting powder. Now, you use a setting powder to set wherever you just concealed. You want to make sure that you add a setting powder over whatever cream products that you use so it doesn't glide and move around throughout the day. So the setting powder that I'm going to be using today is the Patrick Star setting powder, and you can find this at MAC. I love this setting powder so much. It just makes my skin look nice and flawless. It gives it a nice finish. Opening the lid like this and tapping some product into it, this much. And I'm literally dipping my sponge into the product like this and tapping off the rest and then putting it underneath my eyes where I concealed, and I'm just tapping it in. Don't drag. Tapping this in. And then down here on the chin. And then on my Cupid's bow. Also because it cracks throughout the day, so I like to put some extra there. And here. And then some on my forehead. Now, the next step is to use a face powder to set the whole face, because I still have the foundation that I have not set yet. So what I use is that I use the setting powder because it's translucent, and when you put it on your face it just disappears. That's what translucent means over. So I just take a big fluffy brush like this. Shout out to my best friend for buying me this brush kit. So I'm just going to take whatever is left over on the cap and I'm going to set my face. Just like that. And then as you're setting your face, you're just wiping away all of the powder that you put under the concealer. That you put over the concealer. So, and setting, don't forget the neck. Never forget the neck. And I'm brushing away all of that powder. Now we look washed out. Foundation here. Alright, and yeah, that's it. Some people like their face to look just simply like this. If this is enough for you and you find that you look good like this, then just stop the video here and use some setting spray and finish with your look. The next step is bronzer or contour. I'm just going to use my MAC powder blush in the color Film Noir to bronze my face. Now, there is no powder that's dark enough for dark skinned ladies like me out there. Chocolate, we're awesome. Although it's a blush, it's dark enough to make the shadow of the contour that you want. Swirl it in there. Now, contouring, you put it in the hollows of your cheek. So you just suck in your face like this. And this is the hollow of your cheek. Just do that. And then you swirl it really lightly, because you can build on the product. So you don't want to go ahead and create a harsh, you don't want to go put too much product on and you have difficulty blending it out. When you do it like this, it's easier to blend out too. Okay. Once that's done, I typically don't really bronze my forehead, but just a little bit today. Bronze my nose. So literally you just take a small brush like this, but make sure it's kind of dense like that. Just dip it one time into the powder and then you tap off the excess right here. This is where you put it very lightly. Really lightly. You just want to make a small shadow to make your nose appear smaller. That's what contouring the nose is. Making a shadow so it makes the nose appear a little bit smaller. That's what I just did. Hopefully it looks smaller and I didn't just make it bigger. Sometimes that should be looking bigger to me. So next step is blush. Some people don't like using blush. I know my mom does not like using blush because she says she does not blush naturally, so what's the point of adding blush? It's not natural. I do understand that. Everyone has their own opinions, so if you don't like blush, then just skip this step. Like a little color. Why not? Don't be boring. Come on. So I use the Black Radiance Artisan Color Baked Blush in the color Raspberry. It just looks like this. It's a very cute natural blush for darker skin complexions. Nothing too crazy. So again, I'm taking a brush like this and I'm just going to swirl it in there a little bit. And then I'm going to tap off strip. So then you put the blush on the apples of your cheeks. Smile like this. And then these are the apples. So you add them right there. Like that. Really lightly. You don't want anything too crazy because my mom is right. The next step after blush is highlight. Some people don't like to highlight. For the purpose of this video, if you don't want to highlight, that's okay. If you like how you look like right now, stop, add setting spray, and that's it. You done. I'm going to be using this color right here. Eyes, points of your cheeks, bones. A little bit. I'm going to add some underneath my brows. On my brow bone. And then I add some on my Cupid's bow because Jaclyn Hill taught me this. And then I saw Kim Kardashian do this and it looks really cute on her. So I'm going to do it too. And then I learned this a long time ago from Aaliyah J. I love her. And that's typically my full face routine. That's what I do when you see me zooming through. This is what I do. So the final step is I typically hold the setting spray like this. Once you're done setting your face, you don't want to move your face around because it's setting. So you have to keep your face still. This is how you get your flawless face routine, like this. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys really enjoyed this tutorial. Everyone has imperfections. I have a lot of imperfections. As you saw when I first started, I have a lot of scarring. And like sometimes I feel uncomfortable with my face being bare. But I mean, hey, you only live once. I don't give a shit what people have to say about my face. It's my face. I know I have scars and that's just it. So everyone has their own face issues, alright? So in this video, I'm just going to show you guys how to cover all of that. Thank you guys for watching and stay tuned for my next video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye guys!